Hello! So I was cleaning my room and I remembered my room is full of books I used to read when I was a little girl, books my mom read to me. We borrowed them from the library, we bought some, and so I ended up having this huge library. I was trying to clean the dust from my bookshelves, and while going through them I saw some of the titles of the books, and instantly all the memories started coming back to me. And so here I am with the books and I'm gonna talk about them. I haven't opened these books for ages now. I forgot this even existed. So from the first look of these books, they are obviously books that are not that big and they contain a lot of images. They're heavy. It's not thankful. I still love books with a lot of images. The first book I'm gonna mention is this one. The titles are in Greek, but I will try to translate them for you guys. So this is called serofili, which means the four-leaved clove. Yeah. It's by a Greek author and it's all hand-drawn. It's really pretty. And basically it contains folklore and stories, folk stories and traditions. There are a lot of dark stories because of course most of these are taken by Greek mythology, and as you know, Greek mythology contains a lot of dark shit. The first chapter is dedicated to the three fates. The second is about different areas, myths from different areas in Greece. I really remember the one with the bridge. People were building it in the morning and then at the night it was falling apart. In order for it to be made and finished, they had to sacrifice the wife of the engineer of the bridge or something. Imagine being a little girl and reading stuff like that. Underneath the tale's name it mentions the place in Greece that this was happening, basically. Saints and devils, magicians. This dragon is called Yusuri. That's kind of Japanese, I don't know. I'm looking for the tale that really haunted me when I was a little girl, because it's fucking creepy. Okay, so here it says witches and spells. This is my chapter, bitch. I was living for tales like this. I fucking love it. You can see it's a full moon, a forest, some witches and a skull. Basically it has some witches tales, but they're all about bad witches that hexed people. And the next chapter after this, beasts and apparitions and wraiths, and this is super creepy. Like, please excuse me, look at this shit, look at these faces. These were meant to be real beasts of really ugly women or something who killed beautiful women, and it's so creepy, like what the fuck. They were called lamnias. Yeah, here they say that she took the form of a ghost and she kidnapped children and she ate them. This particular lamnia. Wow, this is... Look at these faces, dear God. This was my favorite book. I really like dark folklore with weird creatures and things like that. So anyway, the next one is this one. It's called Tales of Love and Friendship and it's by Geraldine McCall. Anyway, it's translated in Greek. It has really lovely images, but what I loved about this book, so basically all the tales are depressing as fuck. There are some positive ones, but the ones that stood with me are depressing as fuck. So you can see tales like Antonio and Cleopatra. All of these lovers at the end, they both died. Like it has Romeo and Juliet as well. It has Arlequin, Columbine and Pierrot, Tristan and Isolde. And yeah, it has one tale here. It's called The Unforgiven Mistake. It's basically a king or something. I don't remember much. but he has a family and he has his dog and he loves him very, very much. He's a very loyal dog. One day he left the door of the window open and the wolf came in and devoured his child, his newborn child that was sleeping in the crib. His loyal dog tried to fight it and ended up hurting it, so the dog had some blood on his teeth and on his fur, and when the man returned from the hunt, saw his dog with blood and he was hurt. He thought that his own loyal dog killed his baby, and so he shot the dog to punish it, even though he loved him so much. What he did was really bad, but then he found out somehow that it wasn't the dog's fault. Basically the dog was trying to help. Yeah, this story was just... I'm over it. I don't want to know. So the other two books I have are for aesthetic purposes. This is called The Wise Book, and everything is handwritten and hand-drawn. It's by a Greek author as well, and it's basically a book for witches. So you can see it has a lot of spells, a lot of witches. So basically it follows the tale of a young apprentice witch, and it has a lot of spells. It shows basically, like, look at this, it's so pretty. Honestly, how pretty is this? Like, seriously, this was so pretty. And it has some spells like herbs and things like that, creating moon water or rose water. When I was a little girl, I was living for it. I literally made some of the potions and spells from this book. And also the fairy equivalent of this book is this one. This is for fairies, so it's more colorful and vibrant. It has this English countryside vibe, and in the pages you can actually interact with stuff. So this flower over here, the petals are moving. It has some hidden messages, some facts about flowers and fairies, and it's honestly it's really beautiful. So here on this page it has this little thingy that you put on your eye, and basically you see the fairies that are lying around, and it's so beautiful. I cannot stress how beautiful these books are, this one and the one for the witches. So yeah, two more books that I want to mention. I don't have them with me, but I know for a fact I read them in the library when I was a little girl, like multiple times. The one is East of the Sun and West of the Moon. It includes northern folk tales. They are pretty dark and grim, but beautiful. And I am a huge fan of Scandinavian mythology and folklore, so that book basically made me fall in love with it. It's really beautiful. And the other tale I want to mention is The Birthday of the Infanta. Is by Oscar Wilde, and it's a wild story. The little princess, and the book starts on the day of her birthday. She has a huge party in the palace. It takes place in Spain, and if I remember correctly, there's this little disfigured, ugly, funny looking dwarf, and she sees him and starts laughing, and they brought her in front of her to make her laugh, you know, like the clown of the palace, and the poor thing falls in love with her. At some point he sees himself in the mirror and realizes what's going on, because it's the first time that he sees himself in the mirror, and so he's so heartbroken that he actually dies. And so the palace guards, everyone is like kicking him and poking him, and the girl is like, come on, make him dance for me and make me laugh. And one of the guards is going near the dwarf, and they're like, I think he's dead, and I think he died of a broken heart. And then the girl says, okay, then next time, if you want to bring me people here to entertain me and make me laugh, make sure they don't have a heart. And it's so heartbreaking, it's so sad. I was literally crying, like sobbing after reading this tale. I want to finish this. I'm sure that I'm forgetting a lot of books, but these books were the ones that I found right now and remembered about them. So this one is called The Myth of Flowers, and if you know me even a little bit, you know that I am obsessed with flowers and plants. So this book has awesome art, by the way. It has the tales of how its flower was made. So we have daffodils, which in Greek we call them narcissi, and it's basically narcissism, you know. It takes the name from there, kinda. So it's this beautiful boy, his name is Narcissus, and he always stares in the river to see his reflection because he's so beautiful and he's obsessed with his looks. And one day he falls in and he drowns, and hence this yellow beautiful flower is born. So this is about the chrysanthemum, and it's a Japanese legend. Look at this artwork. Like, honestly, I'm living for these types of artwork. It's about an emperor who wanted a flower with 100 petals, and this woman starts cutting the chrysanthemum with a few petals, and she like made it. Ooh, baby. Okay, I think I'm gonna close the camera and start reading these because these are like so beautiful. Okay, here's the tale of Narcissus that I told you before. Here is the flower. But a lot of these are Japanese, as you can see. This is the tale of the anemone, which is beautiful. It says that Aeolus, the god of wind, fell in love with a nymph who really loved these flowers, and he basically started blowing for them to bloom, and she was gathering them and putting them on her hair. And this is why this flower is called anemone, because in Greek wind is anemos. And yeah, this flower blooms every time it's windy. I didn't know that, but I guess that's a fact. Ooh, we have Edelweiss. Okay, so these were my favorite childhood books. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a very spontaneous one. I was bursting with emotions, and this was my genuine reaction. I just opened these books right now after so many years, and I wanted to capture the raw emotion, so you're welcome. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!